Hello, my name is Jess Melvin, NIM 1304141. Right now I will present electric propellant rocket from the book Rocket Propulsion Elements, George P. Sutton, 9 edition. Okay, at present, most electric propulsion concepts are not suitable for Earth. So for the booster from the Earth to the space, electric propulsion rocket are not suitable. In electric propulsion, the term thruster is used the same way as engine is in liquid propellant and motor in solid propellant rocket. In addition, to separate energy source such as solar or nuclear with its auxiliaries, which is concentrator, heat conductor, pump, panels, and radiators, the basic subsystem of a typical space electric propulsion system are First is conversion device to transform the spacecraft electrical power to voltage, frequency, pulse rates, and current suitable for particular electrical propulsion system. Second, one or more thruster to convert the electrical energy into kinetic energy of the propellant exhaust. The third, a propellant system for storing, metering, and delivering the propellant and or propellant fuel provisions. The fourth, several controls for starting and stopping power and propellant flow. The fifth, thrust vector control units, also called TGA, thrust or gimbal assemblies. Presently, electric thruster gives acceleration too low for overcoming the high gravity fields of planetary launch. They operate exclusively in space, which also match the near vacuum exhaust pressure required for electrostatic and electromagnetic system. So electric propellant operate exclusively in space, so not in Earth because they do not suitable for lift-off or booster system. Since all flights and missions with electric propulsion operate in a reduced gravity or gravity-free space, they must be launched from Earth by chemical rocket system. So for the booster from the Earth to space, we use chemical rocket system or solid or liquid propellant. Launching from sufficiently low gravity bodies such as moons and asteroids, however, is currently feasible without chemical assist. So electric propellant are feasible for the launching from the moons or asteroids because it is in space, not in Earth. There is no gravitational who pull the rocket back to the Earth. Present types of electric propulsion system depend on some vehicle-borne power source based on solar, chemical, or nuclear energy, and on internal power conversion and conditioning equipment. The mass of the electric generating equipment, even when solar energy is employed, is much larger than that of the thruster. So, the mass of the electric generating equipment is much larger than the thruster. Particularly when thruster efficiency is low, and this translates into appreciable increase in inert vehicle mass or dry mass. The power source is often a completely separate subsystem. What remains to be taken to the propulsion system is the specialized power conditioning unit or PCU or power processing unit or PPU, except in cases where it is also shared with other spacecraft components. So, the power source which generates the electric energy is completely separate from the subsystem, like thrust, valve, and the others. So there are the three kind of electric propulsion system. First is electrothermal. The propellant is the electrothermal is the propellant is heated electrically and expanded thermodynamically. That is, gas is accelerated to supersonic speeds through a converging or diverging nozzle as in chemical rocket propulsion system. So electrothermal is like liquid and solid propellant rocket, which the propellant is heated electrically and expanded thermodynamically. That is, gas is accelerated to supersonic speed through a converging or diverging nozzle. For the electrostatic, acceleration is achieved by the interaction of electrostatic fields with non-neutral or charged propellant particles such as atomic ions, charged droplets, or colloids. And electromagnetic acceleration is achieved by the interaction of electric and magnetic fields within a plasma. Moderately dense plasma found in high temperature and or non-equilibrium gases are electrically neutral, overall, and reasonably good conductors of electricity. Some devices add a nozzle to enhance performance. Jadi ada 3 jenis untuk sistem propulsi listrik, itu ada elektrothermal, elektrostatik, dan elektromagnetik. Untuk harusnya elektrothermal tidak sama dengan solid and liquid propellant, karena propellant is heated, dipanaskan dengan listrik, and expanded thermodynamically, that is, gas is accelerated. So it's totally different. So electrothermal is propellant is heated electrically and expanded thermodynamically, that is, gas is accelerated to supersonic speed through a nozzle. For the electrostatic, the acceleration is achieved by the interaction of electrostatic field with non-neutral or charged propellant particle. And electromagnetic, the acceleration is achieved by the interaction of electric and magnetic fields within the plasma. So the table 17.2 give a comparison of advantage and disadvantage of several types of electric propulsion. There is resistojet, arc jet, ion propulsion, pulse plasma, RPPT, MPD, steady state plasma, and Hall thruster. You can read it in the book actually for advantage and disadvantage. Application for electric propulsion fall into several broad mission categories. The first is overcoming translational and rotational perturbation in satellite orbit, such as North-South Station Keeping (NSSK) of satellite in geosynchronous orbit or GEO, or aligning telescopes or antennas, or drag compensation of satellite in low and medium Earth orbits. Increasing satellite speed while overcoming the relatively weak gravitational field. So, as we discussed before, the electric propulsion are used in space, which increasing satellite speed while overcoming the relatively weak gravitational field some distance away from the Earth, such as orbitizing from LEO to a higher orbit or even to GEO. And the third, missions such as interplanetary travel and deep space probes are also candidate for electric propulsion. And the fourth, number of newer missions look at electric propulsion for either precision, attitude, or position control, or formation flying, electric position control needed for multi-satellite communication. As an illustration of the benefit in applying electric propulsion, consider a typical geosynchronous communication satellite with a 15-year lifetime and mass of 2,600 kg. For North-South Station Keeping (NSSK), the satellite might need an annual velocity increase of some 50 meters per second. This requires about 750 kg of chemical propellant for the entire period, which is more than 1/4 of the satellite mass. Using an electric propulsion system with a specific impulse of 2000 to 2800 seconds, about 9 times higher than a chemical rocket. The propellant mass can be reduced to perhaps less than 100 kg. Jadi menggunakan electric propellant rocket itu make it lighter, membuat itu makin ringan karena mengurangi massa, mengurangi beban sebesar 100 kg. Itu adalah benefit dalam applying electric propulsion. A power supply and electric thruster would have to be added, but the inert mass of the chemical system can be deleted. This electric system would save perhaps 450 kg. Seperti yang tadi saya bilang, itu akan membuatnya lebih ringan dan menggunakan electric propellant, or at least 80% of the satellite mass, with launch cost estimated at $50,000 per kilogram delivered to GEO. This is potential saving of 22,500,000 per satellite. Later, satellite may qualify for smaller launch vehicle, allowing additional savings. Alternatively, more propellant could be stored inside the satellite, thus extending useful life. Additional saving may be realized when electric propulsion is used for both station keeping and orbit raising. Pause a second. I have troubleshooting device. Okay, sorry, the likeness is too dark. Okay, we continue. Okay, now we embark into ideal flight performance. Because of their low thrust, flight regime for space vehicle propelled by electric thrusters are quite different from those using chemical rocket. Acceleration tend to be relatively low, 10 power minus 4 to 10 power minus 6. Thrusting time are typically long, and spiral trajectory are often more advantageous for electrically propelled spacecraft. Jadi electric propulsion system itu thrustnya sangat rendah, sekitar 14-4 sampai 14-6. Oleh karena itu dia digunakan di space, tidak sebagai lift-off booster. Dan ketika dia berjalan, dia itu thrusting times are typically long, jadi lama. Dan trajektorinya itu adalah spiral, karena lebih menguntungkan untuk kondisi low thrust and typically long. Sehingga electric propulsion system trajektorinya itu adalah spiral. Figure 17 to show three schemes for going from LEO to GEO, including an increasing spiral using multiple thruster and lasting several months, a Horn-made ellipse, which is optimum with chemical propulsion and lasts hours to perhaps days, as well as a supersynchronous orbit transfer. Because long spiral transfer orbit duration may be impractical, shorter time trajectories have been implemented, such as those using chemical propulsion to achieve to very centric elliptical orbits. From there, electric propulsion conditions are effectively used to attain GEO. So, using chemical propulsion are much more effective because shorter time trajectory is much preferable rather than longer time, because it's typically long using electric propulsion. The thrust was so low and it costs consuming time much higher than chemical propulsion. Okay, next, Okay, we can analyze the figure C72. So the spiral is electric propulsion system, and the chemical propulsion high thrust trajectory is the ellipse. This is Hohmann ellipse. This is chemical propulsion system, which is much faster high thrust, and this is spiral is electric propulsion is low thrust and much longer. And for the uh, supersynchronous orbit, this is supersynchronous orbit, and subsequent elliptical orbit. It is sometimes concluded here that thrusters with substantially high values of specific impulse will require more power and therefore bigger power supplies, but this is generally not so. It is shown in this chapter that systems with high specific impulse tend to operate at much longer propulsive times Tp and thus at smaller thrust levels for the sample impulse, so that power requirement may actually be comparable. So from this equation we can conclude that thruster with high specific impulse will require more power. This is PG. PG is specific impulse. PG is power, more power, and therefore bigger power supplies. But this is generally not so. Except that high specific impulse. It is shown that in this chapter that system with high specific impulse they operate much longer propulsive times Tp and thus at smaller thrust level, so that power requirement may actually be comparable. So electric propellant rockets are high specific impulse and operate much longer with times Tp, and thrust was smaller. The power are the same with the chemical propulsion system. Okay. So ideal flight performance. A peak in the curve in figure 73 occurs because the inert mass of the power plant MPP increases as the specific impulse increases, whereas propellant mass decreases. So this is the peak of figure 73. For a given mission, theoretically there is an optimum range of specific impulse that maximizes delta U per Vc, and thus a most favorable propulsion system design. Moreover, the optimum specific impulse Is is nearly proportional to delta U, so that large vehicle velocity change would necessitate proportionally high specific impulse. So figure 17.3 is normalized vehicle velocity increment as a function of normalized exhaust velocity for various payload fractions with negligible inertness of propellant tanks. The optimum of each curve are connected by a line that represents equation 79. This is the optimum. So this is a graphic represent the performance. There are range of optimum performance of specific impulse that maximize delta U per Vc in the most favorable propulsion system design. So this is the range optimum. Okay. And we continue to electrochemical thruster. In this category, electric energy is used to heat the propellant, which is then thermodynamically expanded through a supersonic method. There are two generic types in use today. First is resistojet. So the resistojet, in which solid component with high electrical resistance dissipate power and in turn heat the propellant largely by convection. And the second is the arc jet. The arc jet, in which current flows through the bulk of the propellant gas, ionizing it with an electrical discharge. Compared to the resistojet, the arc jet is less governed by material limitation. This method introduces heat directly into the gas, which can reach local gas temperature of 20,000 Kelvin or more. The Thermal RJet is a device where magnetic fields, either external or self-induced by the car, are not essential for producing thrust as in the nozzle. As shown in section 73 and figure 1710, RJet can also operate as an electromagnetic thruster, but their magnetic fields are externally imposed, for acceleration and propellant densities are much lower. Thus, there are some thruster configurations that may be classified as either electrothermal or electromagnetic. And non-thermal electrical thruster. Non-thermal electrical thruster mempercepat propellan bukan dengan pemanasan thermal dan nozzle, melainkan menggunakan gaya elektrostatik atau gaya Coulomb atau gaya elektromagnetik Lorentz pada partikel bermuatan dalam kondisi plasma. Jadi jenis thruster non-thermal yang pertama ada electrostatic thruster atau ion thruster. Electrostatic thruster rely on Coulomb force to accelerate propellant gases comprised of non-neutral charged particles. They operate in near vacuum where internal particle collision are few. And the second is electromagnetic thruster menggunakan plasma netral campuran ion dan elektron dan manfaat G-Lorentz untuk percepat tidak memerlukan netralisasi karena exhaust gas sudah netral. G-Lorentz itu adalah G cross B. Oke. Jenis-jenis utama dari electromagnetic thruster itu ada NPD, magnetoplasma dynamic, arus besar dan medan magnet kuat menghasilkan gaya dorong besar, cocok untuk pulse atau steady state. Yang kedua itu ada PPT, pulse plasma thruster, menggunakan discharge bernilai efisiensi rendah, cocok untuk satelit kecil. Dan yang ketiga itu adalah Hall effect thruster, menggunakan medan listrik dan magnetnya saling tegak lurus untuk menjelaskan arus Hall yang mempercepat plasma secara azimut. Oke, continue. Optimum flight performance. Given the payload mass MPL and the vehicle velocity and V delta U, the following spacecraft design procedure might be implemented for attaining the optimum result. Section 71. So this is a step for attaining the optimum flight performance. So there are 6 steps that we can use to optimum the flight performance. The first is select payload mass fraction. From figure 73, this yields an optimum delta O per VC. And second is from the given delta you deduce the value of the characteristic speed. And the third is from the optimum value del V over VC in figure 73 at the given mass fraction or equation 79, put the corresponding value V or IS basic impulse. Select an engine that can deliver this optimum IS, and from its properties, find the thrusting time TP. Calculate MP in section from section 71, including equation 47 and the given payload ratio. And 6 is check that the available vehicle electrical power, vehicle volume, and desired mission time and total cost are not exceeded. Okay, thank you from me. Sorry if there is a false word, and goodbye.